Yes, good morning, people. This is the beauty of actually summertime in the United States, the East Coast to be precise, New Jersey, USA. It gives us the opportunity to plant not only vegetables, but beautiful flowers that will spruce up your areas, your location. A little bit about this flower over here. I don't know the name, but what happens is in the start of spring, they're going to blossom. Then they kind of chill out. And then around August, September, they'll blossom again. So that's what it is. Mosquito plant, citronella. If you have this in your backyard, I'm not telling you that you're not going to have mosquitoes, but guess what? They're not going to be that much, you know. And you could see my rose bush or my rose plant. This one is the one that I actually use to make bouquets, because you could see the way the stems are tall. You just cut them and that's it. And the beauty of this flower as well is a flower that you can cut and it's going to populate. When I first had it, it was only one stem that I put in the soil. Okay, and look at this one as well. Okay, something was going on with this, but guess what? There's a picked up, because you see the bad leaves in it, right? The bad leaves are falling off. All of a sudden, there are things you do use on the roses as well. Okay. Like I said, this is the beauty. This is a prize crop. This is Borlogie. Okay, I take the Borlogie stems, I soak them in the water during the winter, and in the summer I bring them out. And you can see this one is, I believe, this position, because it's a position I've used already. The sun hits it in the morning, well, the sun gonna hit it throughout the day. Okay, it's not one of the best position, but it does well. All right, the cross section of the yard, very big yard. I take care of it. I have a riding mower, so I don't have a push mower, so I got to ride. So it does, you know. And again, the grass, like I say, I'm going to show you guys. I did a video on Sunday that the grass, really, the cuttings I'll put on the soil where the plants are, so that way at least it reduces the amount of weed and grass that you have to root around the plants. All right. So, like I say, I just don't do flowers, I do vegetables. Okay, this one over here is your basil. This is bell lily. Again, this thing, I don't know if it blossoms throughout the year, but we'll see. But now the plant is settled, because I only paid about, what, $2 for it at Lowe's. Okay, the background you can see there is our sour. This again is a prize plant. This is salon green. All right. So a lot of times I'm going to leave them to seed, because I do plant seeds. I mean, I do sell seed. This is callaloo. You see the difference, right? And of course, these are my okra plants. I did say earlier on, all these beds going to have okra, and that's exactly what they have. A lot of it you see is all okra plants. Another thing I saw that actually kind of, because I usually have that beetle that come over here that eats up the leaves. Like you see all these holes in the leaves. I don't know, maybe I'll be able to spot one of them, right? But I don't know this year. They seem not to be here, because usually once it start getting hot, you'll see them. So I don't know, it's because of the marigold, because I have marigold all over the place, and the citronella, you know. So you can see over here, that's all okra. This part over here is cayenne pepper, and I'm hoping that it comes up, because this is real Sierra Leone cayenne pepper, that plant that you see over there. So hopefully, I mean, it's been slow, but hopefully it will do its thing. All right. Then of course, this is one of the hottest peppers out there. You can see it's Trinidadian Mongo scorpion pepper, and it's beginning to bud. I have my eggplant. In England, they call them garden eggs. I believe this is the one that grows multiple eggplants. And that eggplant sauce is so brilliant. This pepper, I still got to determine what it is, because this was a hitchhiker that came about. It looks like Scotch bonnet to me, actually. But I'm still going to determine when it get bigger. But this was a plant that actually came out towards the end of summer, the planting season last year. And somehow he just did very well. It stayed woke, like they say, inside. There was two of them. The one survived. which is this one, and the other one died, so I still got one of them. This one over here is Scotch bonnet, Jamaican Scotch bonnet. It's doing well in the pot as well. All right, and you see how nature is. Guess what? You see this plant over there? That is actually sour. And so that's what you're gonna find. You're gonna have a lot of hitchhiking plants. This spot over here is bitters, and this one will be going indoors when the winter comes, or end of summer. But the background you're seeing over here is all bitter leaves. They were small when I got them, very expensive actually. You know, the plants is like 6 stalks was like $39. But I say it was worth it because I'm going to be getting fresh bitters, because over here what we don't have is the fresh one. We always have a dry one. So this one is going to give you the opportunity to have a fresh one that you could actually prepare. And like I was saying about the marigold, you can see I have marigold all over the place. So those bees that will be eating the leaves, I don't really see them. And a lot of these plants, like all this callaloo, they would have been on it already. I mean, I see them, but I don't see them. They're not there. They usually come in droves when you take a look at it. All right, so when do I have time to do all this? Well, I start work 2 hours before I start my job, my work, my regular job. That's the time I come outside. I wake up, no point for me to be sleeping too much. This is carrots. I've had them since spring, and they should be doing fine as well. You don't harvest them now, you know when to harvest them. Prized possession plant, that's a Borlogie plant there as well. Okay, they're taking shape. That's another Borlogie plant that's taking shape. This one is really taking a lot of shape, and this one is the one I told you guys I introduced that this thing to, the buried compost stuff. So, and the soil again was compost. So, like I say, it's taking shape, as you can see. Over here is potato, the potato yam. Okay, these I didn't plant it for the leaves, but this is I planted it for the potato itself. This is the red potato. And whilst we're here, we can see this patch. My salon green patch is not really doing well, but hopefully it's gonna start, you know, backed up there with the green cray. And I talk about compost all the time, and everywhere you go, you're gonna see compost. Like this now can be using the soil, because this is really decomposed. All the waste matters or scrap matters that was in there, they've decomposed. All right. See my scallion. This is another section of plants. You know, you got thyme. You can see how bushy the thyme is, right? Thyme and some other flowers over there. That's citronella. Like I say, I don't know if it's because of the amount of citronella I have. And one of the reasons why I put the plant, like you see them on the ground like this on the soil, because what happens here, it attracts the earthworm. And that's what you really want in your garden, a lot of earthworms, because they're going to create, you know, a lot of good plants, healthy plants, because they aerate the soil and they also gives it nitrogen. Okay, remember you guys, I was telling you about the clippings. I did a video. So these are the clippings from the lawn, the grass. That's just in between. I mean, it has a smell to it, but because it decomposes when you water it, and then I mean, but you know, it's going to dry out, and another time you might see it is all actually gold or brown because they've all dried out. But you see the peppers are doing very, very well. And this is like the Trinidadian scorpion and also the ghost pepper. That's all you're going to see in this patch. This is collard green. Like I said, I'm a resurrector of flowers. So this one I'm trying to resurrect it. Don't ask me the name because I don't know. So that's my collard green there. That's kale. Lone Ranger from last year. Okay, and like I say, you can see all the peppers. Peppers. All this plot is peppers. And over here is salon green. And it's funny how the position that you actually plant the plant, you know, makes it actually thrive. And you see the salon green over there is under the shade of the trees, not doing so well. And I've planted that one longer before this one. But look at this one. Yep, you can see how, you know, healthy they look. And again, like I said, I ain't seen those insects, so that's good. This is green cray. in a pot, and this is another citronella. On that far end over there, these are the potato leaves we eat, because these ones do not actually bear potatoes. It's just the leaves, you know, but it's very similar to those other ones. And I always tell you guys that I have callaloo all over the place. You see callaloo all over the place. And I mean, I had to get rid of them within the pepper plants because they were like, they were too much in the pepper plant. See, so all that is pepper. All right, these are potatoes, Irish potatoes. And also position. I had this growth bag that I was using, and usually it takes 2 days around this time for it to actually, you know, germinate. I don't know what's going on with this one, but anyway, we'll just leave it. Another citronella. And one of the beauty of my garden or prime that I like is when I can resurrect the plant. It gives you greater joy. So this was that Borlogie that I had posted, and it was posted to the wrong address. No fault of mine, but the client actually gave me the wrong address, and it came back all looking all like they want. Well, most of them died actually, but the ones that remains, as you can see, I put them in a pot, and they're holding the ground. That's another one over there, is holding the ground, and give them a little time, you're going to see. On the far end there, you have the chocolate mint. I was told they're very good for indigestion. So, hey, you guys can always link me if you need spearmint and peppermint. And another thing with the garden that I tell everybody over and over, okay, this is the office for the garden, all right? Garden implements and things like that. But again, I recycle, I compost. A lot of the times, you see like this, it's all the grass, and they will eventually, you know, decompose. And that's good compost there. Another example of it is, you can see what you see in here right now. Same thing is the grass, they will die, because once you don't water them, they will die. But in here, you can see these are all compost bins. Compost bins, and this one I just introduced some soil on top of it, because there was a lot of those flies. You can see, I mean, stuff in there already, you know. And that's another compost bin. Okay, that one I'm using because it's done. That was from last year. And you can see like the beans, they have holes in them, so that way at least air comes in it. You have that chemical reaction, and it does this thing, you see. So I got a few beans, and again, what I'm going to do when the summer is over, the planting season is over, I am going to pour the soil in there, because that's what helps the soil as well. You know, you pour the soil in the bean and leave them there, maybe into this couple of scrap. All right. This year, I've not really gone crazy with tomatoes, because last year, I mean, the tomatoes just came all over the place. So that's a tomato plant. This bed is the sour. And again, the race is not for the swift, neither the battle for the strong. But guess what? Things grow. And I'll be selling these ones. These are the moringa plants. They're very good as well, healthy. That's why I have these. I have, 5 of them. In fact, I have 7 of them on the other side. I have to transplant those ones. Tomatoes. And then this is watermelon. See the way I got them there? I can just back this camera up a little bit so you guys can see, because this is the first year of my raised bed. You know, it makes planting very easy, because guess what? You don't really have to be weeding so much. These are sour, just germinated. We've got peppers, we've got eggplant. You see the marigold, like I say, I have them, and fortunately for me, I've not really seen a lot of action with the insects. You know, that's another watermelon, and this is cucumbers, and those are watermelon, that pot over there. And I have my bamboo plants that I thought had completely died, but guess what? It's coming back slowly. So you could see these are all the first cucumbers that I planted. Okay, and we've already harvested X amount of them already, and there's a few of them still there. You can see a lot of cucumbers, you know, cucumbers. And this one is pickled cucumbers. You can see the way it is, right? You see the way it is? This is pickle. That's what you use in a pickle jar. Okay, and again, eggplants. Backed it up in the bed with pepper. And these are red bell peppers. All right, so I mean, the garden, like they say, hey, guess what? If you don't even need to have a yard expanse like this. Just a little yard, you can do your stuff. This again is sweet potato. You see, it's potato leaves, but these are not the ones we eat. And on the background there is basil. All right, so this one again, I'm looking and hoping that there will be potatoes under it at the end of the day. Okay, now this is what I do. Sometimes I find these hitchhikers and I just chop them off, cut them off, and replant them. And I say to them, well, if you guys really want to grow, guess what? This is where you can go. Don't go amongst the other plants, because that's not what I planted. And all these pots are not just there. These are roses, and you can see that the roses itself is started to come out. So once it brings the stems up, I will cut the other things that we don't need. See, these are all roses. See, and this one is that azalea, a plant. I did plant it from the stock. The pepper, not the pepper, this roses did not survive, but it's no big deal, because like I say, I do that all the time. And that's another one. It's funny, I always forget the names, but that's okay, it's all good. And this plant I'm trying to resurrect, but it's not showing me no action. See how much it cost. I got it for free at Lowe's because they were throwing away. And I said, okay, let me come try it. So I'm gonna leave it in the pot. You never can tell if it will grow. Sometimes it looks like I'm seeing action in it, but it could be that it's not an action really. So let's see. It's not taking the place of anything around there, so that's it. So again, this is the garden. Time for me to start organizing myself to work in my daily job. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. And once again, like I say, hey, you don't have to have a big backyard to plant. You can plant in pots. You will still get the returns. Like for example, this plant over here, the green. If you keep plucking it, right? So you have limited space. You keep plucking it, all it's gonna do is just getting branches. You know, and that way at least you can still. Same thing goes with the callaloo. You do the same thing, you pluck it. And another skill, like I say, I sell seed, but again, I don't mind sharing the wealth. If you leave the plant to populate, not to populate, to grow, it's going to grow seeds. And if you leave those seeds to fall on the ground, come around next year, guess what? You don't have to buy seeds like this, like the Salon Green or callaloo. Cray, you have to actually grow the seed and do the seed for you to get it. But all those things that you plant comes with seed. Even the okra, if you leave them, some of them there, you'll still get okra seed. Okay, so that's one way you can get seeds. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Like I say, it's time to go to work. Duty calls. And you know I'll be pushing out this video a lot. Okay, so check it out on like the video. And people are here, they say subscribe to my channel. You know, like the video, because this is what we got to do. We have to try to do something, and that's what we're doing right now. So on that note, signing out.